Hi, I'm Farah.
And I'm Lucille.
And this is
According to Us.
Farah and Lucille, According to Us.
So, this is the DMs I get. So, this girl is asking me, Hi Farah, I'm starting a PR business and please could you help me with the financial aspect of it, as well as networking and growing my business and how I get clients, including how I charge for rates. So I asked her, so you're looking for me to start your business? And she replied, yes. Just say yes.
Yes. Okay, so you must start a business.
I must start her business.
Wow. Okay.
But
what's the budget?
Friend, I feel like I'm speaking to my things fall on deaf ears, because I feel like at the beginning of this year, I decided I'm not doing any free lunches. Don't take me to lunch because you think I'm gonna give you advice because you fed me. I have food at home.
Hungry, eh?
No, I have food at home. I really have food at home. My fridge is not empty. And the other thing is like, people want to take you to coffee, so, oh, can I just pick your brain? No, you can't pick my brain. Let me send you an invoice and then let's talk about how I can help you in what you want.
Where the conversation ends, but yeah, okay.
But this is my thing. So I feel continuously through this year of this short few months that we're in. I mean, we're in March now, right?
Already.
And I put out, I don't know if you remember, I'm sure you've seen it.
Yes, your tweets.
Yes, about how please don't approach me for these things if you're not willing to pay. I feel like it's my intellectual property that I must give you. Why shouldn't you pay me? You're going to make money off it, so why shouldn't you pay me? And continuously since the beginning of the year, I've been putting these putting this tweet all over my social media because I feel like people don't listen to what I'm saying. Am I wrong?
I don't understand people right now, and I think it's the age of our youth, or I don't know what it is, but a lot of people nowadays want to always just take the easy road, and it's the easy road to sit and have lunch with Farah and pick a brain. But there are easier ways. Technology has allowed, the internet has so much information. People are just lazy, and for me, I just like a lot of people. I get also DMs and emails and stuff like that. And some of them I ignore, and then others I'm just like, okay, why are you going into business? Because if you understand your why and you understand where you want to go, you should have that natural motivation to put in the work. And putting in the work is in the ground phases of doing the research, understanding, what is it that I want to do? What is it offering? What is it actually doing for the people? Because you obviously got to give a service when you're starting a business, knowing that there's a need for what you actually want to do. Who are your competitors? Understanding all the, other legalities and compliance and all of the stuff. All of it is available on the internet. Why can't you just take your time? The time that you're sending me a DM on Instagram, you could be on Google, busy doing it. I just feel like people lack the
Do you think it's our fault though?
Yes.
Do you think it's our fault? Do you think we make it look so easy? Because, I know I talk about the pitfalls of business. I don't talk about a lot of that stuff because I'm also busy in the process of a book and I've put a lot of that into there. So I do talk about it on social media, but I don't think we talk enough about how we fail.
Yeah.
And so we make it look so good, and then people come to us because they don't also want to fail. But I think that's our fault. We do that by making it look so easy. But then I also feel guilty sometimes when somebody like this will ask me to come and help. But also, I think it's also just the way you put things. If I'm asking you, am I supposed to start your business for you? And you come back and tell me yes, I'm going to be like, oh, please. Come on. You're really not ready
for this.
If you're not willing to do any of the work yourself, what are you starting a business for? Because when I walk away, that business is going to fail.
Exactly. But, and it's a lot of, what I found is, and I have this discussion with one of my business partners all the time, is about, you see the success rates out of incubations and things like that. I don't think that incubations necessarily fail because the program is a bad program. A lot of people that go into those programs and even mentorship, they want to be a crutch either to the mentor or to the program, forever. They don't want to let go and do the rest of the work that they've learned on their own. So as soon as they are forced to let go, or they let go, they crumble. And that's what makes the success of it, the success rate quite low. Because people don't want to take accountability for their own success. They want to be spoon-fed, they want to be handheld for a period longer than they actually should. And that's
Totally.
not how life works.
I feel like incubators are great, but I very much agree with you. I feel like a lot of small business owners use it as a crutch because they know that there is a fallback on that if things don't work out. Also, a lot of incubators actually pay people a salary to be in their incubation. So once they come out of that, they lose that salary. So ultimately, are you ultimately, are you really, and not everyone, but most people, and that's why I say, are you really an entrepreneur if you are getting a guaranteed salary from someone else? You're really
You're
them.
an intern,
Exactly.
an entrepreneur intern.
You're interning to be an entrepreneur, and I think that's where we also fail, because for me as an entrepreneur, I have been through everything. I mean, when I started this business, I lost everything because I didn't have the money to keep going. I got kicked out of my house with a child. I lived in my car. It was really, really hard. Had I not been through that, and had I had someone holding my hand, would I be the businesswoman I am today? I can honestly say probably not. I'm very grateful for everything I've lost. I'm very grateful for everything that I go through. And even now, your mindset as an entrepreneur changes. How you were broke then doesn't necessarily mean how you broke now. You could have 70 rand in your account then, and to you were broke. Yeah. And you can have 700,000 in your account now, and now you're still broke. Your levels change as you're an entrepreneur. So I do feel that we don't prepare our entrepreneurs for the pitfalls of having a business.
And there are many pitfalls. Trust me, you're going to be broke.
All the time.
I've been broke. I've not been able to pay school fees, not been able to pay cars, but that's all part of the pitfalls. But you can't let the pitfalls hold you back. You can't let the pitfalls stop your journey. But that boils down to how strong is your convictions in your journey? How strong is your convictions on the end goal? Has it been clearly defined? Do you know that from a financial point of view, how much am I willing to risk in order to get to be successful? What am I willing to give up? How far am I willing to go?
Very much so.
So there's all of those basic fundamentals that will help you, and the pitfalls really come back to ill preparation, not understanding the financial model of your business.
Chasing money?
Yeah, chasing money, not understanding your market, not understanding your competitors, not understanding government legislations,
not
compliance, not networking. Just all of those simple things are the fundamentals that you need to successfully or give yourself the good chance at some kind of success in your business. And a lot of people kind of miss that because we all want quick fixes.
But the thing is also, I think it takes us back to the pitfalls are never showcased. They're never the highlight of your Instagram stories. They're never the highlight of Twitter and everything else that's going on. You always, it's the same thing with social media. We show all the best parts of us. But when it comes to business, we don't show people where we fail. And I do feel like I should be doing that a lot more as well, because I have failed in business. Yeah. I put up a caption the other day from, I think it was Michael Jordan. And it was a caption that said, I've taken 9,000 shots and I've taken 9,000 shots, but I've missed 200.
Yes, I saw that on Instagram.
And because he says, because I failed so much, that is why I've succeeded.
Yes.
And nobody understands that. And therefore, I think, for instance, in South Africa, to be deemed a successful business by government, you have to be in business 3 years. Okay. Anything 3 years and under, you are not deemed a success.
Be successful 10 years beyond. Yes.
12 years almost. I'm good.
Yes.
But I find that quite sad that you have to, in order for a government entity to want to invest in you and see you as successful, you have to have literally suffered for 3 years in order to get help.
But you know what, 3 years is not a long time.
No, it's not.
When when the goal and the vision and the legacy that you want to build is something that should literally scare you. Doing it for 3 years is not a long time.
No, but we also we do that, and I think my point is you do, a lot of people, and I've seen this and I see it with my own eyes all the time, and I've seen it with people who started when I started. There are so many people out there who think you're going to start a business today and be rich tomorrow. And nobody is willing to make the sacrifice. I know, I wish. But nobody's willing to make that sacrifice. Nobody is willing to put in that 3 years of work in order to be deemed successful. It's very much like the theory, the 10,000 hours theory. Have you ever heard of the Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours theory?
No.
Okay, so there's a book by Malcolm Gladwell, and I think it's called 10,000 Hours. I think I have read this book. I don't know why I can't remember the title. But the ultimate conclusion out of this book is he says, if you spend 10,000 hours on anything, it doesn't matter what it is, you will be successful.
Yeah, because 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours literally adds up to about 10 years. So if you spend approximately 10 years of your life doing something you're passionate about, it doesn't matter what it is, you will be an expert in that. So I feel like yes, I also did this job a lot more, before I actually started African Star. And I feel like I paid my 10 years due, and that's why my successes come in. But 10,000 hours is a lot. But I very much believe in the theory that if you put your effort into anything, you will become an expert at it. Will you fail in those 10,000 hours? Many times.
Yes, many times.
Lots of times. And you will sit there and cry. If you think as an entrepreneur or a business person or even an entrepreneur, and so an entrepreneur is somebody who actually works with an entrepreneur mindset in a 9-to-5 career. Okay, so even though they might have a boss, as an entrepreneur, you actually work with that mindset. So even if you're an entrepreneur or if you're an entrepreneur, it makes no difference. If you put the 10,000 hours in, you will get to be that expert level. My only thing is decide what kind of entrepreneur you are. You're either a necessity entrepreneur or you're an opportunity entrepreneur. So necessity entrepreneur is when you actually have no choice. Those are the ladies you see on the side of the road selling millies, because if they don't make money today, their kids don't eat tonight. An opportunity entrepreneur is someone who sees a gap in the market and starts a business in order to supply something. So you need to decide what kind of entrepreneur you are. If you do start off as a necessity entrepreneur, please make sure that you educate yourself to a point where you become an opportunity entrepreneur and you're not relying on just making sure you sell 5 millies a day.
You got to
feed your
develop
kids.
yourself, which is also another thing that people seem to forget, is that in the journey of entrepreneurship, you're going to be constantly learning, and you're also going to be constantly learning from others, even your competitors. Go and learn from them, and a lot of that's also part of understand your why. Put in the 10,000 hours. Trust me, if you have spent 10,000 hours on something and you have not perfected
it, then you've done something wrong.
You need to go and speak to the ancestors. but it's.
But even from you, sorry to interrupt, but get yourself some friends who have the same mindset as you. Because if your friends are in a mindset of, listen, I need to work, at 5 o'clock, I finish on a Friday, and then I'm partying the weekend. I am lucky to have a friend like Lucille. I am lucky to have a friend like you, because I know that when I say to you, I can't, you know why.
Yes.
And you are understanding of that. So I don't lose you as a friend, but you're also an inspiration. So when you do things, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy for my friend, and I want to be like that. When you don't have friends like that, it's really hard to try and kick your career off the ground.
I'm definitely going to digress from what we were meant to be discussing, because I honestly believe that this is something worth discussing. How do you get rid of friends who are not aligned to that? Because we have the same thing of saying that, oh no, but I've been friends with her for 10 years. I've been friends with her for 8. We went to school together. But how do you let go of the friends that are not aligned to what you've just said?
I think, it's not a case of getting rid of your friends. I think you really need to be in a situation where you know who your friends are. If your friends have been your friends for the last 10 years and your friend doesn't get up off the couch every day because that's where they want to be, then you either accept that friend or you move on from that friend, because they're not going to be any other friend to you. So I feel like you need to surround yourself with the people who you want to become. I surround myself with people who are like me, but I'm also surround myself with people who are far more successful, far richer, wealthier, and far more knowledgeable about my industry than me. Because I cannot be the smartest person in the room, because what am I learning?
Yes.
What am I learning? How am I growing as a person?
True. So they're saying that show me your friends and I'll show you your network is pretty much it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I truly believe that, because I feel like if you're going to be a person that doesn't understand the value of friendships and who you are as a person and the people that are around you. I mean, like for instance with you, I know I can go to you when I need I need help with strategy. And I come to you not necessarily because I'm trying to pick your brain, but because I know that if you're giving me valuable advice in there, I'm probably bringing you into the project anyway. I mean, half the time that we've ended up working together, whether it's been you bringing me in or me bringing you in, it's always because we add a different aspect to it. You're a great strategist. I'm a great publicist. You know, from that perspective, we come up with amazing ideas. However, I also know that when I'm having a bad day and I say, Lou, let's go drink.
Yes, we can go.
We can go do that. But I also know that that's not the basis of our friendship.
Yes. Yeah.
That's you know, and I feel like we need to have, especially female friendships. We're the worst in business. We are the worst people in business. We don't want to help other women out. Generally, as women, we are terrible when it comes to those sorts of things. We don't understand the value there is in bringing another woman into the fold. I mean, I only employ women. My lawyer's a woman, my accountant's a woman, my supplier's a woman. You predominantly do business with only women. And I feel like that makes a big difference to how we interact with women and the work we do within women empowerment. However, I do feel that there's a lot of other young girls there that don't understand the aspect of helping another woman.
That there's enough for all of us.
That there is enough for all of us. We're all looking at getting a piece of the pie, but nobody wants to share the damn pie.
Yeah, no, that's a serious struggle. Yeah, no, because that's literally like one of my struggles in life, and I keep saying like every year my New Year's resolutions, I want to just have friends who are like-minded and thinking. But most of your friends are your lifelong friends, and they also do add a different dynamic to your life, and you gotta appreciate the dynamic that they also contribute. And there's just others that there's no value, there's no alignment, meeting of the minds or anything like that. And we also overdoing the things that we were doing 10 years ago and the kind of things, you know. So it just, I think those friendships naturally just fizzle out. Okay, in my experience, they naturally just fizzle out, thank God, because I'm not good with telling people I don't want to be their friend anymore.
No, you're terrible at that. Oh my gosh, you kill me with that nonsense.
I'm terrible at that, but yeah, it is what it is.
But I also think by having friends like that, you open up yourself to better options. So for instance, if I know that I need money for a project, I know I can come to you and look, you're a loan option to me, not necessarily your money, but you know where I can go finance something. And I know you're the same. When you need something and you know I have access to it, you come to me. And I feel like the loan options also in business is something that we're always very scared of, because I feel like a lot of us as entrepreneurs are so scared of getting into debt. But that's also because we, as an entrepreneur, no one really, most of us, I feel a majority of people who become entrepreneurs is because they're chasing their passion.
Yeah.
But from a monetary aspect, we're not very versed in how to handle our money, and that's why a lot of people lose their businesses. So when you're looking for loan options, where are you going?
Yeah, and there's a lot out there, and I found that a lot of, and I must say, a lot of our people, our black people, they don't know where the money is, and government also has a lot of
government hides that money.
Yes, there is. DTI has a grant funding programs.
DTI has 8 grant funding programs specifically for women.
Exactly. You know, CEDA has programs as well. You know, IDC have different options. There are so many things, but people are lazy, you know. The Gauteng Economic Propeller, they also have good programs for grant funding, you know, also for loan options with very low interest rate, if no interest rate at all.
Yeah.
You know, and when obviously your obvious banks and so forth. But there are so many options, and I also feel like some people, when they decide to get a loan or instead of a grant, also when you're going to get a loan, you need to understand what is the loan for, how am I going to be able to service the loan, you know, and do the proper financial analysis of what it is that what it is that exactly that you need, because at the end of the day you need to pay back the loan, you need to and then you obviously need to make your profit margin. And a lot of people really thuck some figures based on what the banks or the lender is able to give them.
But do you think that's because as people generally, I mean, I find as a colored person, I wasn't taught financial literacy in school. I had to learn, and I think it's just generally people of color, black people, whatever, we just aren't taught financial literacy at school. So becoming an entrepreneur, we are not the people that go in and understand the bank is giving me this loan. I have to pay 10% of this loan back a month. We just think money. How do I spend it? Nobody's thinking about how do you pay it back. In all honesty, there's very few people that understand how they need to service their loan. Very few people.
Yeah.
And that's where the pitfalls of business come in, because you may be extremely good at what you do. You may be the best in the business. But if you're getting paid and you're immediately spending that money, then you don't know how to handle your business, because the problem is a lot of us when it comes to, she doesn't have corona, I promise, she's just coughing. I think a lot of the times when we do have money that comes in, we think it's our money to spend. You don't realize it's the business's money, and the business needs to pay off the rent or staff or anything else that they have. We just see it as money that can go and buy things.
I think that is because that was a challenge for me for a lot of the years, where I was of the understanding that the money that comes into the business is my money, and like I still struggle with it. But but that's one of the things about having your proper accounting, etc. In place, because at the end of the day, in order to sustain the business, you need to have all your financial stuff in order as well. And I just find that a lot of people don't do that, and especially small businesses, but that's actually when you're starting out, when it is actually the most crucial time, because as you start doing something and you keep doing it, it becomes such a second nature. And as you build and you get more money in, you still apply the same principles of when you started.
I also feel like if government wants our economy to run better, I feel like they need to be investing in us as entrepreneurs. One, this crap of 30 days, 60 days waiting for your invoice to be paid. We are small businesses.
I shame they're getting better,
Really? Please tell me who you're dealing with, because I am definitely not. I mean, and I see it with a lot of people. Why are you taking 30 days to pay me? Why are you taking 60 days to pay me? If I'm a small business, I have staff to pay, I have all these things. I need a cash flow consistently. So how are you taking so long to pay me when a corporate is paying me on the basis of 50% deposit, 50% done? Government shouldn't put us in that position.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that needs to be worked on from their side. And I feel like, why in school are kids not being taught about taxes, bonds, SARS? Why do they not? My daughter goes to a private school. I'm very grateful and very lucky and very privileged to be able to send her there. And she learns those things in school. She comes home and she asks me about bonds and taxes, and we like, how do they work? A state school doesn't do that. And on average, it's just state schools.
Actually, just last week, my son was telling me that, mommy, we were talking about business studies, and their school was offering business studies. I don't think they've been offering it for very long, but they've canned it this year.
Why?
Because it was affecting their pass rate.
What do you mean?
Their matriculant pass rate, because the matriculants or the older grades, they were failing. The failure rate for business studies was extremely high. So it was affecting
worrying.
the school's rate. They've canned it. So
but you see, this is the thing. If we're seeing that our kids are not able to be financially literate, how do you can a subject like that? This is something that can help this child forward into their lives, into understanding how to without going through their lives and living off loans, how to actually get money and keep money. And that's a problem I feel like we have. Like, I feel government should be paying us before 30 days. I feel government should be educating our kids in terms of how to use money properly. I feel like government needs to be a lot more involved in how we handle ourselves as entrepreneurs in order for us to grow the economy. We should have the biggest GDP in Africa. Because at the end of the day, our structures and the logistics that are in place allow us to do those things. Why are we not there?
Yeah.
Why are we not there consistently, even when we do have it? We can have it now and then tomorrow we don't have it. Why are we always threatened with being put on the junk list as an economy? Because we're not investing enough. And I feel like entrepreneurs are the future in terms of how to grow our economies, and also how to grow jobs and to give the youth jobs. If I can give the youth jobs and teach them how to be entrepreneurs themselves, then I've done something with my life. Government should see it like that as well, and that's where the problem comes in. Where do we go for help?
They keep preaching that. Trust me, because even in the later State of the Nation address, there was a lot of discussion about that. The thing that's going to save our economy is small businesses giving employment to people.
Exactly.
How am I employing people if you haven't properly equipped me with the skills? Although yes, we're not saying that it's totally reliant on government.
Yes.
Trust me, I'm not saying that,
Yeah.
because it's not totally reliant on government, but having the support and the necessary
Yes.
things in place that a government can assist us with just will make the road easier.
Yeah.
But we've been hearing that, and let's see. But how the things in this year
I
are
agree
going to
with
pan
you.
out.
I agree with you. It's not government's responsibility wholly, but it is their responsibility to provide a small platform for us to at least work with or work off. We've become successful without the help of government. Okay, we didn't have the money to start our businesses. We really started from scratch. But can you imagine where we'd be now and who we would be had we been able to access those loans? Because I remember when I started 12 years ago, the programs that DTI have now and the loan options that DTI have now, they had one then and they turned me down. One. They told me that my business wasn't viable enough. I went to the bank to go and get a loan. The bank told me that my business would never last past a year and a half. Never. This is a bank telling me this. And I was very lucky. Yes, boom, I've got it. I'm here still. But I had the tenacity to carry on.
Yes.
What about that young woman or that young man that's starting a business you're sitting there across somebody who's working a 9 to 5 at the bank with somebody else's money, telling you can't have someone else's money because they don't think that you will be able to run a business, and they've chatted to you for 5 minutes. I don't think those kind of processes help us.
Yeah, no, they definitely don't, but they're there. But that really shouldn't be a hurdle as well. You've got to find other means to sacrifice, in order to, and money that you're going to risk, in order to get your business going, because those are hurdles, and those are the struggles of an up-and-coming entrepreneur. But just like the many other struggles, that cannot be something to deter you from focusing on the end goal.
Do you think entrepreneurship has become a more lucrative option for the youth rather than going to work for a 9 to 5, because of the fact that a lot of people look at it as a far more glamorous option?
The glamour part definitely, but it is become more lucrative. Just based on the figures also from the budget speech, State of the Nation and so forth, you can see the growing trend of entrepreneurship, growing, and it's because it has become more lucrative. And a big part of it, besides the financial, is that it looks glamorous, that people, the mindset of, I want to at 10 o'clock be able to have cocktails on the beach or go on holiday for 30 days or whatever the case may be.
No, that's tenderpreneurs. That's not entrepreneurs.
Oh, wow. Okay. But yeah, social media has literally made entrepreneurship look glamorous. And people are really failing to go back to the basics about this. Glamour comes with being successful. How do I begin to be successful? What is the journey to being successful? They just want to get to the cocktails without actually, getting the ingredients for the cocktail and all those processes.
So the other thing is as well, within our industry, and I know you and me have experienced it, when it comes to work from both a men and a woman's side, sexual harassment and GBV, especially in the workplace, is a big thing, and it really does determine so much about how we work and how we feel safe within certain environments and how successful our businesses are, because some people sleep with people for money, other people don't. Some people sleep with people for business, other people don't. But this is a conversation that we can have tomorrow, because I know how tired you are.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. It's been such a long week. Wow.
So I made us some appointments at Revive.
Yes, to the friends are key.
And we're going to go have some drips because I think we both need it after the week that we've had. And then we can carry on talking about harassment in the workplace. Eh?
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate that you've been here and you're listening and all the support you guys have been giving us.
Peace.
Farah and Lucille, according to us.